Before I start this video, I wanted to take a second, since he watches these videos, and wish my son a very special happy 8th birthday today. I love you, buddy. Now, on to the video. How's it going, everyone? Gucci here, back with yet another video. This is the first time going over a ranged class so far, and to say I'm very impressed. To start things off, the Ranger class can be played as one of 3 different styles: a support type, melee DPS, but I'm going to showcase the third option, which is a ranged DPS. Generally speaking, this class wears leather, the main stat is agility, and the primary resource is focus, along with having something called archery points that you spend as a sort of combo point-esque system type of deal. Something I wanted to mention is that Rangers also get elude, which is a stealth basically. It's more applicable to the melee spec, but I think it's still nice to have as a baseline Ranger ability regardless. Speaking more specifically to the archery spec, your abilities require the use of either a bow or crossbow, so no guns. One of the few things that affects your weapon choice is how Rapid Barrage performs once used. Rapid Barrage is a casted ability that rapidly fires arrows at an enemy. With crossbows, it ticks twice as fast for half the duration, compared to if you use a bow, which makes Rapid Barrage's movement speed reduction non-existent. Regarding damaging abilities and performance, the first thing I gotta say is this class is by far the best at AoE out of all the classes that I've covered so far, mainly thanks to Spray Quiver. It sets up so many opportunities to cleave down your enemies. Paired with Rain of Arrows, it gets pretty out of hand, especially with the fact that Spray Quiver affects things like your serrated shot that applies a bleed, as well as the venom injection talent that causes certain abilities to poison your enemy. I think you can see where I'm going with this. Switching focus more toward utility, the first thing to mention is that you can talent into Backstep, which is basically a disengage. Another gap closer you get is Reposition. It's basically a heroic leap. You can also talent into a disarm type of move called Snatch. There's Counterblades, which is a 50% damage reduction move that also increases your parry chance. Survival Potion, which dispels 2 magic effects, all bleed effects, and removes a disease and potion effect every 3 seconds for 9 seconds. There's also Tactics, which makes you learn 2 different horn abilities. One is a 50% speed increase, and the other reduces your ability cost, as well as gives you a 10% maximum HP buff. Lastly, there's something called Diversion. It's basically a vanish, but by the tooltip, I'm not completely sure if it's able to be casted on yourself, but you can definitely target one of your party or raid members and make them vanish, dropping combat. Before I wrap up the video with closing statements, I wanted to throw in an honorable mention of an ability that I thought was not only interesting, but pretty cool. It's called Bushcraft. It grants the ability to get something called Ranger Hide. When slaying a beast that yields experience or honor, you can also get the hide by converting the leather you get if you have skinning as well. Using the Ranger's leather you obtain, you can craft things to give to either yourself or trade that increase experience gained, armor, haste, mount speed, and even food. Being my first ranged class I've played here over on the Conquest of Azeroth server, it's exhilarating. The leveling is easy due to the massive amounts of AoE abilities and talents buffing those abilities you have access to. As far as PvP goes, I can see the spec being pretty good, obviously comparable and on par with something like a Marksman Hunter on regular WoW. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope everyone has a blessed day, and happy gaming, everyone.